What's up, everybody? Finally back. 3 months without a video. I'm trying to get back on board with putting videos up. I know it's been a while. Appreciate everybody that still watches the videos. Today, we're going to be trying out a couple of different new discs that I picked up. Pull out the other one out here. So I got a Star TL to try out, and this MVP Impulse. It's a 9.5 -3.1, and I'm not sure. Okay, this one's a 7.5 -1. That's what I thought. This will be like a slightly straighter T-bird. This hole here is like 460, so these aren't necessarily the right discs for my arm speed to get there, but we'll throw them since it's wide open and see how they fly. Anyway, let's send this TL out there and see if I can get it to stand up off of a little bit of hyzer. I think I threw that with a touch of hyzer. Stood up flat and then went straight and finished left. It's a pretty good flight. It's a very usable flight. Now we'll try the Impulse. I'm assuming this is relatively flippy with a 9 -3 rating. So I'm going to put it on some hyzer. See just how flippy it really is. I probably need to give her a little height too. Oh boy, no height. She is indeed flippy though, so we'll be able to adjust that a little bit. That's not going to come back. It appears like I'm holding stuff over today. Okay, so I guess me not being warmed up and putting any turn on that Wraith, it didn't go any farther than the TL, which was the first disc we threw, so we'll just go ahead and play it. Try to flick my putter up there and get us a par, because we're still, I'd say, 120 feet away from the basket. We didn't even get close to 460. And I pulled that too, so that went OB across the road, unfortunately. Yeah, in this wind, that was a much better choice. That one's under the pin. Under the pin, excuse me. So while retrieving my shank, I had an idea for the video. I've had a lot of people ask me recently what I've been doing as far as exercise and stuff to lose all this weight I've lost. Because this month last year, I was about 340 pounds. And as of today, I weigh about 195. So I definitely have lost a noticeable amount of weight. A lot of people are curious if it's all related to working out or disc golf or what it is. I figured I could go over some of that in the video since I've done enough of my own research and obviously have results to prove that I kind of know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let me go ahead and throw the shot, and then we'll talk a little bit while we're going up to it. Throwing the TL again. That's going to be up there for a bird. But anyway, yeah, I've lost over 140 pounds at this point in about a year. And believe it or not, definitely if you're a disc golfer, which you probably are if you're watching this video or my channel, don't quit disc golfing. It's great exercise, it's great for your health. Walking in general has all kinds of benefits. And I do a workout, but I've only been working out for about 5-6 months. The first 6 months I didn't work out at all. I just disc golfed and dieted. That's where the dieting comes in. Dieting is 80% weight loss in my opinion. It's all about how many calories you put into your body versus how many you burn on the way out. And that's really going to determine whether you're gaining weight on a weekly basis or losing it. And for me, once I discovered that, I started using a fitness tracker on my phone. Basically, I just log everything I eat every day. And I'm allotted a certain amount of calories based off a formula that a lot of them trackers will give you off of your BMI, your height, your weight, your activity level, and all that stuff. And it'll give you a baseline to eat every day to maintain weight, lose weight, or gain. You just stay under that threshold. Oh, beautiful. We got like a 25 footer for a bird. You just stay under that threshold and you'll consistently lose weight. I went pretty crazy. I'm not going to recommend everybody do this. But since I was so heavy, I maintained 1,000-calorie deficit for probably 5 months, which is a lot. And that allowed me to lose an insane amount of weight in a short period. I probably went from 340 down to 270 in about 3 or 4 months. And that was just off of changes in diet and eating. And then I kind of hit a wall at 270, and I realized at a certain point, you're just not going to have any energy or be able to maintain that low of a calorie intake as you burn off enough fat. You're going to have to up it a little bit. And I bumped it back up to about 2,000, and I maintained 2,000 calories until a couple months ago, I'd say. Then I bumped it up to 2,400 to kind of recover and balance out, and I still lost weight at 2,400, but it was definitely slower. And now we're at where I'm at now, and I'm back down to about 2,000 right now. Just trying to shed a few more pounds. Then I'm going to start doing what's called a maintenance diet, which is basically eating what I need to stay at the weight I'm at and not gain or lose any. And that's ultimately the goal with calorie tracking, is to get to a point where you are happy with where you're at, and then you learn how much you can eat to not gain or lose weight. Because if you just gain it all back and give up afterwards, what was the point, right? Let's see if we can cash this put. That was close. It was a little bit right. But anyway, that's kind of a really quick overview of the whole thing. Not necessarily a full and detailed of my plan or how I went about things exactly. More of a broad spectrum type of explanation. If anybody would be interested in a more detailed explanation, or maybe like me helping you with some goals you have, setting you up a plan to be able to execute it, I would definitely be willing to do that. I am limited on time, so we may have to work out some kind of deal that benefits us both for me to actually be able to set aside enough time to help you out. But I would gladly more than like to help anybody out who wants it. I know the struggle, and it's not an easy thing to do, but I believe anybody can do it if they just know what they need to be doing and are willing to have the discipline to stick with it. Those are the two biggest things. The knowledge and then the discipline. Kind of sad to throw that good of a tee shot and get a par, but probably shouldn't be rambling while I'm putting, huh? This is hole number 5. It is like 180, 190 foot downhill. It's a very short hole. This hole, especially in tournament play, there still is a line on the back side of the ditch, which is your OB marker. This is just like a little island hole. It's a short hole, but if you throw too far to the right, you go OB. You go too far to the left, you go over the road OB. You kind of just want to take like a putter and approach disc, whether you're more comfortable with the flex or the flip up, and just kind of flip something right at the basket or hook around this tree and overstable finish back to the left. I prefer the flip up to straight myself, because the overstable one, if you crank on her a little too much, you may not get that flex back, or it might flex back late and you go too deep. I feel like the flip up's just a safer option anyways. Let's go ahead and send it and see if I don't screw it up. Yeah, that's going to be about perfect. We'll take that all day. That's 10 feet from the basket. I haven't been this happy with it driving on this hole in a while. We're literally 5 feet from the pin. We'll take that all day. I still think I'm probably one over right now though, because of my little flick out of bounds on hole 3. Hole number 6. This hole is 340 feet. Double mando between these two trees. It's straight up through the trees over to the left. Basically want to flip something up to flat, ride straight, finish to the left, hopefully be in the circle for a putt. Or you throw it straight into the ground and have a 70 to 100 foot upshot for a par. Well, do we look at the positive that we made the Mando, or the negative that we threw our disc 4 feet off the ground expecting it to go 350? Anyway, this should be a putter flick, but that didn't work out earlier, so we're going to do more like a zone flick. Try to just dank it. That'll work, that'll be a par. We'll move on to the next hole. We'll tap this baby out real quick. And we'll move on. Here's another straightforward hole. It's wide open hyzer. 280. I'm gonna throw this TL again, because why not? I don't know how close to the camera I got it. It's a very pretty disc though. It's got some swirly pattern in the star on it. Pretty sick. Okay, I've thrown that disc into the ground 2 times in a row now. We need a redemption shot. Let me grab. That was much better. Much better. I might have flicked that a little bit too hard. Ooh, flashed the basket though. That's fine. We should start doing a tally of how many of those I'm going to have today. We're successfully throwing this disc into the ground twice in a row. We're going to throw it again because why? Because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, which is exactly what we're about to do. This hole plays about 280, 290 uphill. It's a dog leg to the right. It's definitely a forehand hole. My elbow's not having that. We're not even going to try that today. So we're going to take the TL. We're going to try to baby flex it because it's already slightly understable. If we give it enough height on a baby flex out here to the left, maybe it will just glide over into that opening and we'll have a putt. We will see though. I might shank it in the trees as well. That's a possibility. That was a little pulled, but it made it most of the way before it got to the tree line. I think it got through. We might actually be parked. Okay, so here's towards the top of the hill. We threw from down there. Here's the dog leg I'm talking about. And there's our disc, 2 feet from the pin. It looks like we'll have to give the TL some more opportunities. And it's just the guy throwing it, not the disc, because that was a great birdie. It's hard to argue with a 2-3 foot tap in, that's for sure. We'll work our way down here to hole number 9 through the woods. I like this little back route to the next hole. Get you out of the open. Which, by the way, I know so far this course has been very open. If you stick with the video, we get back into the back 9. It's going to get a lot more wooded and a lot more interesting. So definitely catch your tripod on the sticks. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely stick around for that. Here's hole 9. We've got a few trees to contend with. Okay, so the basket is to this tree right here. It's down here. I think I'm pointing close to where that is now. It'd be more this way, about right in there. It's kind of being hid by some tree branches. This hole plays about 320, but it's downhill slightly. I like to throw my midnight prowl on a flip up and let it kind of just hold turn and glide all the way down to the basket. Let's see if we can't execute another good shot. And we did. That should be a putt. Yeah. Nice shot. Another bird. I didn't want to be too distracting to the people out here camping, so I just went ahead and played through that hole real quick. My first shot had 0 turn on it. Basket's down there. I ended up way up here. We're gonna have to throw our up shot from up here. Probably want to hang this out pretty far right. Oh! I thought we were going to ring that up for a second. I'm going to leave you up here. Go tap out real quick. There's my Luna through. I mean, not my Luna, my Fierce. It's a lot better shot. That's probably only 35 from the basket. But I'm trying to play as many of my first shots as I can. Tap out our par. Move on to the next hole. This is hole number 11. It plays as like a 310-foot par 3. I kind of hit this initial gap between these two trees. There's a little circle drive with a basket in the middle with some guardian trees. I gotta try to get through, get over the circle drive up onto the hill over there. Hopefully land somewhere in the circle. If I can get this TL through without hitting any of the trees, that is. Well, we got lucky because that's not the gap I was aiming for, but we're on the island. Almost have to flick this. I don't know that I can actually jump at it. It's far enough and it's low enough. I might just be better off trying to pop it at the basket with some nose up. Let's try that again. That was terrible. That was terrible. That was even worse than the first one. We're playing the first one. At least technically, we're really not that far away. We should be able to drop this in and move on. Take our par. Just like that. And get out of here. This is hole number 12, and don't worry if on the camera it looks like there's not much of a line, because there's not much of a line. But anyway, this is a 265-foot par 3. The basket plays very hard to the left. I guess the intended idea is some type of a flick over forehand that just kind of pans and flattens out. I don't have that. I'm not even trying that. Usually play this hole for a par, and even if I get a 4, I'm not that mad. I'm just going to try to flip this impulse that I brought out today and see if I can't get a straight shot to go as far forward as I can before I inevitably probably hit a tree. I've gotten lucky and made it all the way out, but we'll see. That's usually doesn't happen. No. We piled into a tree. And hope we get some distance. I don't know. At this point, I'm just throwing. That was terrible. Let's try one more. That one actually kicked out to where we could get a bogey from it, surprisingly. Not sure if you'll be able to see it from the camera or not. Basket is straight up there. This is for my 3 at this point. I'm just trying to get close enough for a 4, to be honest. And that's 10, 12 feet away for the 4. Tap in our 4. This is hole number 13. It's a 310 footer. It's pretty uphill though. I don't know what the sign says. We got 20 feet of elevation. I believe that at least. But anyway, I'm going to throw the impulse. We'll give her another shot. It's a 9, -3. It's a straight shot, so I figure something flippy like this, maybe I'll give it hyzer and let it kind of just pan back over to the right. Because there's a bunch of branches in the way going straight at it. So we'll try a flip up to turn to ride towards the basket. At least that's what I'm imagining it doing. I gotta make sure I give enough hyzer, I guess. Well, I gave it enough hyzer, but it's a little more stable than I've given it credit for so far. I threw that a little lower than I needed to as well. Here's the impulse. Not a terrible shot. Definitely farther away than I want it to be, but let's see if we can't ring up a circle 3 putt. A little deep. We'll take the par and we'll move on to 14. Hopefully it hasn't been doing it the whole round. I noticed I didn't have my windscreen on my microphone. We got back out here in the open, it felt kind of breezy. I wanted to make sure I wasn't messing up our audio. Anyway, this hole is 380 foot, par 3. The basket's literally as dead straight as you could say when you want to say something's dead straight. But there's lots of branches hanging out from the left. It's a very small tunnel. It's not a high enough ceiling to go up the tunnel. So you've either got to come out wide, spike your disc back in left. You're going to need a lot of power to go that wide. I don't have that much power. Or you can go in between the trees wide and spike it back in left. Play for par or birdie. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to throw my wraith. Try for a little flip to straight to finish to the left. Hopefully somewhere down there by the basket. I pulled that inside. I said the tunnel was too small to hit. And I hit the tunnel. So if you're accidentally throwing up the tunnel, it might work. It feels good to get back out here and record though. I've been missing making videos. Just a lot of changes in my life with my work schedule and other activities going on. I haven't had as much time. I'm going to try to get out here more regularly now though. And at least try to do 1 video a week for you guys. It'll help me get better at making videos and into disc golf, which is something I want to do. Plus I enjoy it. It's good exercise and it's fun, you know. But anyway, we're coming up on this race up here. It's looking very obstructed, unfortunately. Not crazy short of the basket, but definitely obstructed. Do I try a nose up, flick at it, go for a crazy highlight, or do I play for the par? We're out here practicing, so I'm gonna go for the crazy flick. Air bounce. I got a little bit of an air bounce. Still a good up. Nowhere close to going in the basket, but we'll take that all day. Tap her in. That's hole 14. We're on to a bomber hole now. Welcome to hole 15. This is a 700-foot par 4. The basket is all the way down where that patch of trees is. Straight down from us, there's a little runoff pond, sludge pond. There's a dam behind it. The basket sits up on the dam. So really on this, you're just trying to go big, get a lot of distance, hang your disc out to the right into the open, and the important shot on this one really is your up shot. Unless you shank your disc into the ground off the drive, I mean, then that's obviously no good. Okay, so I rolled my disc over because it's too flippy for this headwind. See, that plays though. Even from there, I'm fine for an upshot. Let's throw something more stable. Let's throw this brand new Star Wraith. That was a good shot. That one definitely fought the wind better. That's too far left though. I'm not gonna like that. I need something that'll stay a little straighter, get some turn out of it. It's a good wind disc though. Let's try my more beat in Wraith. Should turn. Oh, it turned all the way into the ground like the first one did. I need something just in that sweet spot of stability. Ooh, let's throw this 9-3, -3 impulse. I'm gonna need to put this on all the hyzer. Let's see, 40 degrees of hyzer. Is it possible? It's not. That's a roller. And it's going. And it's still going. Okay, it stopped. One more, why not? I'm having fun. Let's throw the TL. How is that going to be my best shot out of all of them? Wow. That was beautiful. What was that, 4 or 5 throws to actually throw one good throw? Well, I wouldn't say the Wraith throw was bad, it's just too stable. Moving on. Okay, so I forgot and I picked up my first shot. So we're gonna go ahead and play off the TL. We're out here practicing and having fun anyway, so it ain't no big deal. That purple Wraith I threw was a great shot. It was down where the short pin location is on the edge of the circle, and that plays 440. So that was a good 400-foot smash. And with a disc that I can throw into a headwind, trust it to hold straight like that, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted that disc to do. So I'm just going to keep it fresh and only throw it in headwind situations for sure. But anyway, I don't want to lose any of these new discs, so I'm going to just throw this old Barsby Eagle I got. Because I still got 300 to the pin plus. It's probably more like 330 to the pin. We're going to try to get a look at it. If we don't, we don't. Let's just hope we don't lose the disc in the water. We're not losing a disc in the water, but I think that's too straight. Oh, it was going to skip hard to the left. Maybe we should throw one more. Well, we're deep circle 2, maybe circle 3 even slightly. But we have a look. A little bit of obstructions from the leaves, but just debating on if I want to jump putt. I don't think I can get it there with a jump putt being this uphill. I probably need to do the flick again. Usually my flicks are good, but today they haven't been, so we'll see what happens. We're taking the pars, what's happening, I guess. Par's okay. Here's my disc. There's the basket. We're gonna lefty it and probably miss it. We did not. Moving on. This is hole 16, 289 feet, par 3. Right up here in this cluster of trees, we're gonna send the TL at it. This TL's been a hero and it's been a 0. Let's see if it can be a hero. I'm probably gonna want to throw this close to flat at that tree right there and hope it just kind of holds a turn towards the basket. I threw that on hyzer, did not turn. Ooh. Uh-oh. That's OB. Let's try that impulse out, why don't we? It's a little flippier, probably a little more room for error, because I totally botched that shot. Man, that thing is flippy. That was almost good, but holy moly. Alright, you want to see what I normally throw on this hole? I normally throw that eagle I threw over my upshot. And that's why. That slight bit of flex, skip up. And we got ourselves a putt. Okay, so the impulse was at about 40 to 45. Obviously the TL went OB. I'm just gonna go ahead and play from what I would normally throw here. Why? I feel like it, I don't know. This round at this point is just, I can't even remember where we're at. I know we're floating around even, so. Feels good to at least make a fake birdie. Hole 17. This is a 600-foot par 4. Actually, it might be a little less than 600, but it says 550. Okay, so it's a 550-foot par 4 with like 20 feet of downward elevation. We're gonna try this impulse out. Since it's flippy and I really don't want to throw a disc in, there's a river over here and OB parking lot. We'll see if we can flip this impulse up and just get it to ride out, and maybe we can bomb it. Or maybe it's a cut roller. Who knows? Well, it's definitely not going to go that far because I threw it flat. It landed up by the tree over there. Let's try one more. I want a redemption. It's the closest. This is probably the closest thing I got to that. An Avenger SS. Another really flippy driver. Maybe I can actually throw on hyzer this time because I feel like that was not hyzer. I definitely hyzered that one that time. Oh, we hit the very last concrete pillar right on the edge. That was crazy. That's inbounds though. That was a good shot. I think we hit this and skipped right over here. Not bad though. I just went ahead and picked the impulse up. It was over near the other side of the OB line. I'm gonna set up right here. See if we can't flick us an upshot up there. Get us a 3. I sawed that off, so that's definitely going to be. It was kind of short too, huh? Really not a good shot overall. Let's try throwing an upshot with my PA3 and see if I can throw it any better. Maybe a little bit better, but still not great. Close. Well, we've made it to hole 18. I appreciate everybody watching if you made it this far. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I had a good time making this one today. Definitely going to be more to come in the future. Anybody wants to leave any comments, any ideas or topics they'd like me to cover, or any courses that you want me to check out in the future. But anyway, other than that, I'm going to go ahead and send this race that we threw earlier, the stable one, because this hole's got a Mando on the right here. The white sign probably shows up on the phone. And then you can basically got to hyzer your disc out with enough height after it goes about 300 into the woods on the left. And that leaves you over 100-foot upshot for your birdie on this hole because it plays as a par 4. But anyway, let's see what happens. Hopefully I commit and I don't throw this with too much hyzer because then I'm in the woods and I really don't want to look for a disc right now. I'd rather miss the Mando and play from the drop zone. No, I think that was a little tight, but that should be good. We should have a look from up there. Figure as we're walking up here, why not show you guys what I was aiming for. There's the Mando tree on the right over here. We threw from back there. There's this cliff right here. You've got to give your disc enough height to miss this hill, but also stay out of all these trees. I came in over here. Okay, so the short pin, I would be about 6 feet away from the basket. Would have been perfect. There's our shot. But unfortunately, that's what I'm looking at. And the basket's down there. So we don't have much. We're down in the gully. It wasn't very well executed. I haven't thrown a forehand all around though. What do you expect? We're unfortunately only about 70 feet away from where we were on the last shot. But at least we got a straight look at the basket. So there's a chance to get up and down for a par. Or I could throw it in. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to try that. I'm just going to try to pump this zone straight with a little flex and let it kind of just scoot right up to the basket. That wasn't good. Hey look, a Buzz OS. Basically a slightly longer range zone for me. Oh my, we almost hit the pole. Why couldn't I do that with the zone? This would be a great hero putt to end the round on. Let's see if we can do it. Off the top. At least I hit metal, you know. Yeah, I sent that Buzz OS way deep. It's way back here. Well, we're ending on a 5, but that's cool. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the support. Like and comment, subscribe. Later.